That lady, man, she's louder than me. Feeling good about this? Feel like you got it? You feel like you got this? Kelly, you think you got the drill right? 50-50? Yeah. I'm going to encourage you to race. John, the drill, Joe.
I felt really good until I saw the first one. It's not like there are multiple that are like.
Come to school for any reason tomorrow?
I had the Gilman 5:30. The biggest game of the year. I'll be there. So.
Rocco, how you feeling about the drill?
I think I got it.
Yeah.
I think that's that. I think so.
Those, yeah, I like to be the long answers. I'm gonna take this one more. Because all I know is what I'm seeing.
Yeah, but then.
All right. Sounds like people are in a buzz. Let's take a quick survey. Who's got A's and alpha? He wanted it. He did. B as in broccoli. Yeah, come on, Keith. You look around. I go. Huh?
I think it could be two.
All right, you can raise your hand twice. C as in Caroline. D as in Dogwood. E as in Ellen here. Where was your second hand?
I got D.
All right. All right. So suppose the government is supposed to price, so the price ceiling is non-binding, right? So we're gonna start like that, right? All right. Keith, what was your second one you liked?
B and D.
All right. So read me D.
The number.
Say one more time, please.
The number of consumers buying televisions decreases.
Decreases.
Yes, sir.
All right. So what's gonna shift? Or is anything gonna change?
Supply will shift left.
Okay.
No, consumers demand will shift left.
Okay, so if demand shifts left, and I'm just listening to what you tell me, did that help the situation any? Is that binding?
No.
No, because it's still on top, right?
Yeah.
It's an upside down house. The ceiling has to be below the equilibrium to be binding. Okay. Joe, what did you have?
That's my final answer.
Yeah. Did you have E as in Ellen?
I did.
Okay. Let's add it. What if it's E as in Ellen, what happens?
The number of firms selling televisions.
So that's your shift supply, right?
Yeah.
That's not gonna help either, right? But you seem like you figured something out over there.
Yeah.
So what is it?
Oh, I don't know the answer. I just figured out what I did.
Okay. Who's got, go. Okay, so B as in broccoli is what? So that would just supply left. Giving me a supply here, and now a price above the equilibrium, right? Making the price ceiling binding. Okay. Any questions? Yes, sir.
So that's a partnership with the people that bring force to the price ceiling.
Yeah, so now you'd have a surplus, right? Because you'd have QS and QD, right? Mr. Mitchell?
I got the several notes. That's what I took in an hour and a half.
By the way, as I walked by, I thought, that room's like Congress. Nothing good comes out.
Yeah, right, that's true.
Yes, say it again. A and B? What's A? All right, if price falls, a firm's gonna make less or more money in the future? Huh? Less, so they're gonna supply more now, right? So that would have shifted supply to the right, and that would have lowered the price. Okay?
So basically, if the price of TVs are expected to fall, they'll make more TVs now.
Yeah, because they want to make more money.
They'll just sell all the excess TVs.
I mean, they would, yeah, they want to get rid of everything. Yeah. Any other questions? Good questions. Okay. All right. Now let's go, Evan. For us. Okay, I've just done like maybe half of the redos. And I don't know, they're not as good as I expected them to be. So all I would say to you is, maybe use Wednesday to go over supply and demand a little more. And I know we have a quiz Thursday, but if you could start on that, getting ready for the unit test, and supply and demand's 11 questions on a unit test. People just really struggled with inferior goods. And I don't know, there was a lot of struggling. So I will return all the redos Thursday, so you could use them also as maybe a study guide for the test on Monday. All right, let me go backwards. All right, so I'll do a review Wednesday night at 7:45 for the quiz on Thursday, chapters 5 and 6. The practice quiz is posted. They're like chapter outlines are posted. And then I'll do a review before at 7:45 in room 100. That's this room on Thursday. Practice quiz is pretty similar to the regular quiz. There'll be 15 multiple choice questions because it's 2 chapters. Okay. You do not have to know the midpoint. The midpoint's in chapter 5. You need to know the formulas that we've been working on. All right. You know to do Friday, chapter 7, unit test Monday, FRQ Tuesday. Any questions? Okay. Joe, have I explained how the kids did last year on the unit test?
Yes.
How is that? They did very bad. Okay, so I would just say, here, this is the easiest way. I'll start telling everybody. Think of it as the hardest test you've ever got. If it's wrong, Ted, and you crush it, you're not gonna be pissed, right? If you got 30 out of 30. If you're right and it's the hardest, you'll be prepared. And don't, like, I'm not project. If I looked at it, I wouldn't say it's the hardest. However, I looked at the last 2 years' results, and it does say it's hard. All right, elasticity, we're gonna talk about that in a second. People wanted more practice on the excise tax. We did 2 days on excise tax. It's hard for me to spend more time on it, because we have a lot of material to cover. So, all I would suggest is, if you don't feel comfortable, is either meet with me or to review your notes. You have everything in your notes that you really need to be an expert on excise taxes. Expenditures, price times quantity. That's all it is. It's price times quantity. There's a question or two about expenditures on the practice test. All right, price times quantity, which is the same thing as total revenue. Review, I'm going to review 5 and 6. I said, would tax always cause dead weight loss? Every time except in an externality. We're not learning externalities till the end of the year, to the end of micro, okay? And why is PS below the tax revenue? I'll just graph that so you can. Yeah, I'm listening. Say that again. Total revenue, price times quantity. Expenditures are like consumer spending. Total revenue is what the firm is spending. All right, so tax is going to shift supply right to the left, part of rat nest. All right, now to find, I should put numbers. I think numbers work better. To find how much the tax is, it's the length of this line. Any line between, so that would be 8 minus 3, the tax is 5. All right, so Rocco comes and buys a pack of cigarettes from me. He gives me $8. I have to send 5 of that to the government, so I only get to keep 3. So the actual producer price is 3. What do we know about producer surplus? Below the price, so the price is 3, and above supply. So that's why it's below the tax revenue. And think of it, this guy's willing to sell for 1, he's selling for 3, willing to sell for 2, sells for 3, and that's why it's there. Yes.
Can we go over a practice situation where the tax burden is put squarely on producers or consumers?
I mean, that's going to be strictly on consumers. That's the light deal. Yeah, and then anytime it's inelastic, or that's perfectly inelastic. When it's relatively inelastic, it's relatively inelastic for supply or demand. It's always going to be on the one that's most inelastic. Okay. Any other questions? All right, talk to your partner and go over the elasticities. So go over the formulas and what the so if the coefficient's greater than 1, what does that mean? Okay, go talk to each other. Go. No, that's. No. Are you talking about A and B on the cross price? No. Long as you're using the different price. You know what I mean? And usually they don't give you the information at the right, they just give you like the price. All right, anything up there you and your partner are a bit hazy about? Not sure. Okay, so income elasticity is, first of all, quantity is always on top. So percentage change of quantity over the percentage change in income. Positive number is a normal good. Negative number is an inferior good. Yep. So you need to come? Okay, and let me, Luke, just remind you that on the, not you, Luke, because you did really well on the quiz, but a lot of people got the inferior goods all out stuff. Yes, Luke.
Negative, complementary, and positive.
Correct. And then demand and supply, and then the same formula. I didn't put it's absolute value, so it doesn't matter negative or positive. But what does matter, greater than 1, elastic, less than 1, inelastic, and then 1, unit elastic. And remember on the line, units kind of in the middle, elastic, and then inelastic. And I just think E before I, elastic before inelastic. Okay, anything else up here?
What was the formula for cross pricing?
Change of quantity of product A over change of price of product B.
And one third product A, price of B.
Okay. Anything? Yes, sir.
Find the percentage change you could do.
New minus old over old. Okay. And looking at the practice quiz, it didn't seem a lot of formula work. So I'll probably come in Friday with some practice formula questions because there are some on the actual test. All right, so we'll have that there. Okay. Any other questions? Good questions. All right. Keaton, I need your A game because we don't have much time and this is slightly difficult. Not for you, Keaton, but for like people like me. Okay. Hey, by the way, Tay Keaton, a student said today that they had equal knowledge of economics as I do. Like they're smarter than me. I was kind of shocked there. All right, now somebody, oh, you know what else I'm noticing on the you know, it's great that I make you write these, you know, the redos, and I just collect them and I don't scan them. You guys don't graph them. Like, you guys guess things out of your head, and some of you are really good, but I would say 50% of the mistakes are because you're guessing in your head if supply shifts left, what happens? Instead of just graphing it and seeing price up, quantity down. That's how we got into it. I said, I graph everything. Do you think I know economics better than you? And he said, no. All right. No, I mean, it's honest, but he's wrong. All right, you gotta think of who would say it, right? All right, so if I'm dying of thirst, like I was, and I drove to McDonald's, and yeah, they were open, Rocco, that's a rarity. And they had Diet Coke, that's a rarity. They had cups and lids. Holy freaking cow, it was almost the store. Anyhow, the first Diet Coke, is that my best? Okay, that's my, what's utility, Joe? Okay, Andrew, utility.
It's like the amount you want something over time, and that's what can happen.
But what is just utility? You guys, Ben? Satisfaction. Marginal utility is the additional utility I get for every Diet Coke. As I'm drinking more and more, my marginal utility decreases. Even though it's hard to just not like your 8th Diet Coke. But anyhow, here is the law, and we've done this, right? The law of diminishing marginal states that as you consume anything, the additional satisfaction will eventually go down. And marginal benefit, which is the same as marginal utility, has to be greater or equal to marginal cost. Okay. All right, quick little review. We're going to review again. And by the way, if you're like reviewing, every class is videoed and on the topics page. Okay, so Evan might say, I like to look at elasticity. We did that like last week. There is like elasticity 1, elasticity 2. Just go to watch the video. I don't know. Yeah. You know what I'm gonna do next year? I'm never coming to class. I'm just gonna have the kids like click on the videos and I'll stay home. Yeah. Now we're thinking, Joe. All right. Now, just based on this information, not your love for Chicago, where I went to watch the Ravens play the Bears. Anyone remember that game? Yeah. Lightning and thunder, like delayed for 2 hours. So I left in the middle of the game because I had to get home and catch a plane. I think we won.
Just last year?
No, I think it was a couple of years ago. It had to be before COVID because I haven't been on a plane since COVID. All right, where would you want to go based on this information? Peter, where? Chicago? Yeah, you're right, Peter. Okay, it's 2 utils to 1, okay? All right, so there it is. Now, we're trying to figure out how to maximize satisfaction, okay? I'm gonna do a little review here that I put about, hey, Joe, for you, man, volleyball. Volleyballs, Joe. Okay? Not footballs. All right. So if I got 1 volleyball, what's my marginal benefit? Joe? 50, right? You go 50 minus 0. All right, figure out the reps. I'm just quick little practice. Let's just quick little review. It is beautiful. right there to practice football.
What period?
I am. Come on. I can't hang. Oh, yeah, I am. What I told them. I can't read my cookies. All right, Keaton, because I don't want to get any more blunders for my addition. Total benefit for the second volleyball,
45,
for the third,
30,
for the fourth,
21,
you notice a pattern, for the fifth,
10,
for the sixth.
4, 1.
All right, you notice a pattern. Keaton, is there a pattern there? Don't look too deep.
Oh, it's decreasing.
It's decreasing, right? All right, so if I wanted Joe's modular utility to increase, would I buy him more than 7 volleyballs or less? It's modular utility. Less, right? Because at like 3, his modular utility is 30. All right, Evan, that makes sense? All right, what?
So it doesn't depend what the cost is.
No, we're just looking at utility for about, we're assuming every volleyball costs the same.
Yeah, but like if it was like 50 cents.
No, I'm not asking you how many volleyballs he should get. If I wanted him, if I bought him 7 volleyballs, right? And I just wanted his modular utility to go up, wouldn't it be higher at 3 volleyballs? So I'd get less volleyballs. You're thinking about how many he should buy. We don't have a cost in there yet. As usual, you're a step ahead.
So why? So what was your question again?
If I wanted to increase his utility, modular utility, would I buy more than 7 volleyballs or less? Okay? Yes, sir.
How do you calculate total? That was a satisfaction.
I would say normally they would calculate that he might pay $50 for 1 volleyball. And that would show that he thinks it's worth.
Oh, that's how much.
Yeah.
Oh.
Joe's a sucker. Most normal people wouldn't pay $50 for a volleyball. How much does a volleyball cost? I have no idea. School buys it for free. What a great school. It's a magazine drive. We can afford to buy those things. All right, I made that totally up. All right, here's what I want you to think. All right, maximization. Oh my God, I see that. Yes, what goes right through my head? You're right. Modular utility of X over the price of X equals the modular utility of Y over the price of Y. Anytime I see utility maximization, that formula goes in my head. All right, so I'm going to just say movies is X and all right. Now, Leo, in the information up there, do I have modular utility? I do. Okay. Do I have the price? Okay. So I can figure modular utility over price, right? All right, go. I'll let you guys figure out. Now, here's the thing. He has $25. You have to spend it all. Okay? You have to spend it all. Think how many go-karts and how many movies he should do. Remember, you want the MUX over PX to equal the MUY over PY. Do we go to 115? Oh. like another minute to try to. Christian, how are you feeling about this? Okay, so let's me and you work on it together, okay? All right, so the MU over P, Christian, would be 30 over what? Okay, and then I'm just doing, right? All right, so here it is. All right, now over here, what am I dividing by? And that's going to be 2, 1.4. All right, so Christian, does 3 equal any of the ones at the go-karts? Huh? Yeah, I'm trying to get the MUP movies equal the MUP of go-karts, right? Does 3 equal anyone on the go-karts? There's 2. Okay, let's see, do we spend out 25 then? All right. 2 go-kart, 2 movies times 10 is 20. 1 go-kart times 5. Yeah, we got it. 2 movies, 1 go-kart. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, they will not give you something that does. But then what might happen is it might not be the first one. The first one, like sometimes you might have spent 20 and you have to go down to find another match. Okay. Now, Evan, do you have your A game, Evan? We're going to see. Evan, if the formula, the margin utility for apples is 60 and the price is 2, and the margin utility for orange is 60 and the price is 4, I'm going to reduce that, right? To 30 does not equal 15, right? If I'm trying to maximize, do I buy more oranges and less apples, or more apples and less oranges, or I just leave it alone? All right. Now, Evan, if I buy less apples, what's going to happen to the marginal utility? Really? If I buy less movies, what happens to my marginal utility? If I buy 1 movie instead of 4, it increases, right? So here, if I want to increase oranges, do I want to buy more or less oranges? Less. So you buy less oranges and more apples, because every apple you eat, your marginal utility goes down. The law of diminishing marginal utility. All right. So you're going to always increase the bigger number and decrease the smaller. Andrew, that makes sense? Joseph, good? Any questions on that? Connor, you're good? Luke, thank you. And here? Of course, I'm looking for the marginal utility of X, which is this, to equal the marginal utility over price of Y. These are MU over P, 321. This is Y's MU over P, 21.4. There was no match for 3. 2 is here and 2 is here, so they equal. Okay? There could, like 1 and 1 is, right? But let's do 1 and 1 just for a second. At 3 go-karts times 10, I spend 30, I only have 25. Okay? No, excellent question. Okay. All right. Let's like flip Do you have this in your notes? All right. Now, Keaton, looking at that, do I have the marginal utility for oranges and apples?
The total utility.
All right, so my first step, and we're gonna do this together, because we don't have much time, is I'm gonna have to get the marginal utility, because Keaton quickly noticed we don't have it, and he sort of maximized, this formula just went right into his head. All right, so Keaton, total marginal utility for the first,
20,
for the second,
15,
for the third,
10,
and for the fourth.
5.
I think that's as far as we have to go. Now, Keaton, is my work done with apples?
Yes. No, you have to divide by price.
Okay, the price, however, is one apple, so it's all gonna stay the same, right? Okay, we good? Anyone, before I go to the next? All right, Dylan, what do I have to do with oranges? What's for the first product?
30,
Second,
20,
third,
15,
and the last?
10.
Now, is my work done with oranges?
No, you gotta divide by price.
And the price is?
2.
2. All right, so I've got 15, I've got 10, I've got 7.5, I got 5. All right, do I got a match for 20? No, right? I do got a match for 15. 2 apples, 1 orange. 2 apples times $1 is 2. 1 orange times 2. No, I didn't spend my 7. All right, I got to keep going. All right. Do I have a match at 10? I have 3 oranges and rather 3 apples and 2 oranges. 3 apples times $1 is 3. 2 oranges times $2. Yep, there I am. All right, any questions? No one? All right. Bring in and have a good day.